Now at 6, the accumulating snow has exited the region, but the cold gets even colder. We're going to have those details.
Beware, we're going to take a look at road conditions all across the 4 states, and we check out some warming shelters offering some protection from this blistering cold.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The snow plows are on the roads, and you should not be. Road crews are trying to clear the way, but there's only so much they can do. And you don't want to get caught out there as the temperatures and wind chills drop to near record-breaking lows. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. We're going to have the latest on road conditions, area warming shelters, and emergency declarations in both Missouri and Kansas in a moment. First, though, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy tracking this dangerous weather.
Well, of course, not a huge snow, but our first one of the season that really accumulating. And of course, with the cold, it has caused some issues. Southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, mainly 1 to 2 inches of snow. And then you can see our western counties, quite a bit more, 2, 3, 4 inches. Our northern counties, Pittsburgh, about 2.5 in Joplin, also Neosho. Once you get to Monette, Mount Vernon, up towards Stockton, about 4 inches of snow. So there was a range of about 1 to 4 inches across the region. So today, 2.5. We had a 1/4 of an inch, if you remember, back in November. So that puts us at 2.75 for the season. Average is 13. Forecast, we're going from 15 to 18 inches of snow. But here's the issue. Look at our temps. -3, -4 degrees right now. Plus, we still have these strong northerly winds. So this drops the wind chill factor. So it makes it feel even colder than what it is, 25 to about 30 degrees below zero. Of course, it is going to get colder as we go through the overnight hours tonight. It's the holiday weekend. We're going to look into all that here in just a bit.
Soon. We are keeping an eye on road conditions all around the area. We begin our coverage with reporter Shannon Becker in Joplin.
Let's take a trip around area roads and let you know conditions in case you do have to get out. On 7th Street, the roadway at times is hard to see where the lines are. Use caution as some patches of ice could be underneath this light snow blowing around. Now, numerous slide-offs and crashes in the Joplin area. Joplin police suggest for you to slow down, approach intersections cautiously. Locally on the interstates, the roads are clear, fewer vehicles on the road. But if you go east of Springfield, I-44 is shut down for an unknown amount of hours. Up to 30 vehicles involved in a crash near 142 mile marker, which is not far from Lebanon. And mostly it's suggested if you don't have to get out, stay home. In Jasper County, I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News Now.
KOAM's Carrie Worthen has been checking road conditions in southeast Kansas.
In Pittsburgh, we saw drivers struggling with streets that are snow-packed and slick. On Highway 69, drivers seem to have an easier time. Law officers have worked single vehicle crashes off in ditches, striking objects, and multiple vehicle crashes at intersections.
It started out pretty minor. We've had some slide-offs, a few little minor accidents. Lately, we've had some crashes that have come out that are getting a little more serious in nature as the roads have started to get worse.
But authorities caution that drivers need to slow down and leave plenty of room to stop, because they can find slick spots anywhere. And the conditions are continually changing. Authorities want to make sure you have a plan of action if you have to get out in this wintry weather.
If you do go off the road, please stay in your vehicle and stay warm if you're able to. Stay seatbelted in. Do not get out of the vehicle and try to inspect everything as the roads are worse.
In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
You can find a link to resources for road conditions all around the 4 states at KOAMnewsnow.com/weather. Both Kansas and Missouri have declared states of emergency because of the extreme cold. In Missouri, Governor Mike Parson signed an executive order preparing state resources and National Guard members to be deployed if needed. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly also signed an executive order. It temporarily relaxes some motor carryover rules and regulations to speed up necessary assistance. A number of communities across our area have opened warming stations available to the public. KOAM's Jalen Banks is at one of those. He joins us live from Joplin's Water Gardens Outreach Center.
Thank you, Dow. I had the privilege of speaking with both Water Gardens and the Joplin Public Library on how they serve the community during this weather. With winter weather hitting Joplin, Water Gardens and the Joplin Library are opening its doors to bring warmth to residents.
Really wants to be a pillar in the community, a central place where people can go, not just to get books and movies, but to really be there for our community members. And so being open when it's so cold outside is another way for us to do that.
Water Gardens typically serves around 50 people a day, but on days like this, they'll triple the amount of people that they serve.
Really, people, I mean, when temperatures reach a certain point, you're not going to get warm, right? No matter how many layers you have on, you're not going to stay warm. And then add on top of that snow, ice. This is the basics as it gets, keeping people safe and warm and even fed at this time. This is kind of a crisis need that we're trying to meet.
Water Gardens normally will only feed its residents, but on a day like this one, they'll feed and have beverages to all.
I just really appreciate the opportunity that we able to serve people in this way, and I really appreciate the churches and other organizations in town that are opening up their doors as they can to provide a warm place for people.
Again, that was Jalen Banks reporting Water Gardens keeps their main lobby open for warming until the wind chill gets above 20 degrees. You can find the latest coverage of the storm and what comes next on the KOAM weather app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you have to do is search for KOAM weather app. No better time to download it than right now. Coming up, Missouri sports lovers might have something to look forward to next year. The latest on a bill to make sports betting legal in the Show Me state. Plus, a Girard football standout commits to an area university. Sports gambling could be making its way through the Missouri Senate and House in 2023. That's what at least one lawmaker hopes, and he's pre-filed a bill trying to make it happen. Marina Silva looks at what it would allow.
Arkansas, Kansas, and Illinois all beat Missouri to the punch in passing sports gambling.
It's very interesting in the state of Missouri now. I can buy recreational marijuana. I can go to the liquor store and buy alcohol. If I'm over a certain age, I can buy tobacco. I can then go to a casino and bet my life savings on blackjack or craps. But if I want to bet $100 on the Chiefs to win this weekend, I can't.
It's one issue many Democrats and Republicans agree they would like to see passed. Republican State Senator Denny Hoskins has filed a bill that legalizes sports betting and video slot terminals, like those you find at many convenience stores.
What we would like to do is regulate those video lottery terminals. They would be taxed at 36%, and where a sportsbook would only bring in about $10 million gross to the state, video lottery terminals would bring in over $250 million to the state.
The bill says the money would go for education, veterans' homes, and cemeteries.
I think that there's a lot of good schools out there and a lot of teachers that could use a pay raise and a lot of good things we could do with that money in the education system here in the state of Missouri.
And currently in the current year, we had to supplement their budget with general revenue by about $50 million. So sportsbook alone would not be enough money in order to honor our commitment to our veterans and our veterans' homes and cemeteries.
Democrats agree the money is needed.
I think at this point, it's a bit of an embarrassment that a lot of states around us, including Kansas, has sports betting and we don't.
A little bit later, the Kansas City Chiefs look ahead to their Christmas Eve matchup against the Seattle Seahawks.
Plus, it gets even colder as we go through the overnight hours tonight. We're going to have those details coming up next. Well, of course, it's turned out to be a super cold day for us today. We had the snow kind of picking up 6, 7 a.m. and then into the early afternoon hours. Because of the wind, a lot of areas didn't accumulate on the roadways. It just kind of blew right off. And then other areas are really started to pile up. We're actually looking at our MoDOT camera. This is 7th, or not 7th and Rangeline. I'm so used to saying that. This is I-44 and Rangeline. You can see moving slowly, but moving well, which is good. But there's going to be a lot of slick roads out there tonight. So if you are going to be on the roadways, be careful and also watch out for the temperatures. Look at this, 45, 50 degrees colder right now than what it was this time yesterday. And I thought yesterday was a pretty chilly day. It's -4 in Nevada, -5 in Fort Scott, Chanute at -2, 0 in Veneta, -1 in Anderson. That's the actual temperature. And look at this Arctic air. Just kind of took over the entire Central Plains. In fact, Dallas is sitting at 15 degrees. And then you add the wind. We have our northerly winds really sustained at about 10 to 20, and then we've had gusts quite a bit higher than that. So when you're getting winds gusting 25, 30, 35 miles per hour at times, of course, that drops the way it actually feels. So the wind chill is -25, -27 in Carthage, -21 in Pittsburgh. Of course, that fluctuates as we get our little wind gusts in here, but we're going to sit below 0 all night. Overnight low of -6. Some areas may drop -8, -9 behind the snowpack. Look at that, really picking up. Early this morning, we had some really intense squalls that rotated through. So at times we were getting accumulations of about a ½ an inch to an inch per hour. But this has gone racing off toward the east, now right across southeastern parts of Missouri as this whole storm system wraps up, heads up the eastern seaboard. And we get a chance to dry out a little bit as we go through the next few days. But super cold. Look at this. -5, -6, -7 degrees by morning. Partly sunny skies, only up to about 5 by noon. We should go to about 10, 11, 12 degrees, which is still a brutally cold day. Tomorrow night, we still drop back right around 0 for an overnight low. And then heading into Christmas Eve, partly sunny skies, better, not great. High temp right around 20 degrees. In fact, if we roll right into Christmas morning, we're going to be right about 5, 6 degrees to start the holiday. All right, still we're going to have some travel impacts, weather impacts. We're going to go with kind of moderate range on the snow and ice because we still have it on the roadways, but high impact with cold, and of course the wind is going to stick around as we go through the next couple days. Our winds are going to be gusting 30, 35 throughout the overnight hours tonight, still 25 to 30 throughout the daytime hours tomorrow, and then finally by about noon on Saturday, they start to calm down just a little bit. That's why we're under a wind chill warning until the noon hour on Saturday. Look at these wind chills, -25 to -30 by the morning. They only rise to about -10 tomorrow afternoon. Then they fall again to about -15 by Saturday morning. And then at the noon hour, the Chiefs are playing. We were just talking about this wind chill of about 3 or 4 degrees, even a little bit lower when you head north toward Kansas City. -5 in the morning, 8 by noon, high temp of 12 degrees as we head into the afternoon. 0 tomorrow night, 21 Christmas Eve, 26 on Christmas Day. So this snow, I mean, of course, with some sun, we're going to get a little bit of melting, but in general, it's going to be sticking around. Could even get a few snow showers Monday morning, but on the flip side, 62 in a week, 60 next Friday with chances for thunderstorms heading into the New Year's holiday.
Seems impossible. 62 degrees is so far from where we are right now.
That's what we do here in the 4 states. We're all over the place.
Yes, we are. We hope the people right now, tonight, are not all over the place. I hope they stay right where they are in front of their TV. We're going to keep them informed. Emergency workers and road crews and sometimes TV news people have to be out and about, but for the rest of people out
Everybody
there,
else stay in.
stay in. It's dangerous. Thanks, Doug. If you have any pictures of the winter storm you'd like to share, you can submit them on the KOAM News app straight from your phone right there in the warmth and comfort of your home. All you have to do is go to the weather category, swipe to the photo galleries tab where you can view other photos taken by viewers or submit your own. You can also go to KOAMnewsnow.com/photo galleries. Still ahead, Baxter Springs High School has a new head football coach. We're going to hear from him. And a Girard High School standout quarterback commits to stay home and play for the Pitt State Gorillas. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Baxter Springs Lions have a new head football coach. The school has announced that Jeff McCoy will be the leader of the program beginning in 2023. Now, McCoy has been on the Baxter Springs staff for the last 3 years, coaching wide receivers and defensive backs. He's also made coaching stops in Pitcher, Oklahoma and at NEO. Before that, he played at NEO before finishing his college career at Pittsburgh State. helping the Gorillas claim the conference championship in 2001. Now here's McCoy, what he plans to bring to the Baxter Springs program as its new head coach.
We're going to play fast. We're going to be aggressive, and we're going to bring some excitement to what we're going to do. But the main, like I said, the main thing that I'm about is giving maximum effort, having a great attitude, having great character, and being tough. We want to be tough. We want to be a tough football team.
Girard High School standout Luke Nigaman is staying close to home. Nigaman announced his commitment to Pittsburgh State earlier this afternoon. The 6'3", 200-pound cornerback has been one of the best in the area the last few years. Nigaman has led Girard to a 20-2 overall record the last 2 seasons, with 2 district titles and 2 regional championships. The Kansas City Chiefs have just 3 games left in the regular season. On Saturday, the Chiefs will play at home, hosting the Seattle Seahawks. And both teams have a lot to play for in the last few weeks. The Chiefs are 11-3, fighting for the #1 seed in the AFC playoffs. The Seahawks are 7-7, trying to earn a playoff spot of their own. Now, the last 2 weeks, Kansas City kind of had some trouble putting away some teams with not very good records in the Broncos and Texans. Head coach Andy Reid says that's kind of just part of playing in the NFL.
I remember Roger Goodell talking about this, and Paul Tagliabue talking about this, that they wanted to try to get as much parity amongst the organizations as they possibly could. I think that's come to fruition here. We're seeing it, we're living it, and I think it's great. It's great for all the cities. They have a chance. Every city has a chance, and to be good.
Finally, some Division I men's basketball tonight. The Kansas Jayhawks 10-1, ranked 4th in the nation at home against Harvard. That one is just getting started in Lawrence. We'll have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Clifford Harrington served in the U.S. Army from 2006 to 2010. The Neosho native served 2 tours in Iraq. And we're proud to salute Platoon Sergeant Clifford Harrington, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The U.S. announced new sanctions on Russia today, one day after Ukrainian President Zelensky's visit to D.C. Also, 2 women had organ transplants 35 years ago when there were so many unknowns. More than 3 decades later, they're now inspiring others. We're going to have their story. And just how much microplastic winds up in our food and then in our stomachs. Those stories, a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. And of course, it goes without saying, we will have a complete weather update tonight at 9.
Yeah, absolutely. If we pull up our Max 2, we can see the 7-day. It doesn't look very pretty over the next couple days, about -5, -6 for us tonight. Wind chill factors -25 to -30. A high of only 12 tomorrow, 21 on Saturday, 26 on Sunday.
Goes without saying, again, you need to stay inside. It's not just a matter of possibly having an accident. Even if you slide off the road in these bitterly cold temperatures, it's going to get very dangerous very quickly, and you don't want to put that burden on all those emergency workers who are doing so much. So please stay in if you can. Final sports notes.
I know some of you probably have your phones in your hand right now. If you do and you don't have the KOAM News Now app, go get it right now. Turn on notifications because at 7 o'clock I'm going to send out a notification on our top local sports stories of 2022. Some may surprise you, some may not. Some surprised me, but we'll send that out at 7 o'clock.
Be careful out there. We'll see you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.